Hello dears, and welcome back to the latest news update from Spain and Benidorm's region. As usual, today we'll be talking about the situation in Spain, about the ease and elimination of almost all the restrictions, plus two more news and a weather forecast. Let's start with the situation first. As you all know, we don't have the data for the weekend. However, we do know what happened last Saturday. We did have 27,527 new cases, and the index has dropped up until 613 cases per every 100,000 people. Right here on the map in front of you, you can see the regions in Spain that are officially in just a high risk, not in an extreme one as they used to be before. In general, almost all measures are eliminated. The only thing what we have right now is the mask indoors, but this probably will be eliminated as well in the next upcoming weeks. Tomorrow is the day when officially people who have been tight contact with a positive one will not need to stay on quarantine anymore. This is for schools, for example. This is for work, for every single case. If you've been a tight contact with a person that has confirmed a COVID case, you don't need to self-isolate unless you do have symptoms, or unless you by yourself you want to do the test and make sure that you are negative. However, no one will check if you're doing that or not unless you do have symptoms and you go to the doctor. A lot of the restrictions right now are coming not because of the virus situation. They're coming because the situation between Russia and Ukraine. Spain has officially closed the airspace for all flights proceeding from Russia. This is something that I'm not going to comment a lot about on the channel, because I know there are a lot of opinions about it, different opinions. We talk about Spain here, so I'm not going to go into more details. However, I do want to say that Spain, as well as other European Union countries, like for example France, it's Germany, it's Poland, it's Czech Republic, and a lot of others, they've closed their aerial space for flights proceeding from this country, which is not surprising, and this is what happened in Spain. Also, they are canceling the new visas for people that want to come here. It's as tourists or as people who have asked for the residence permit, for the long time visa type, to be able to live in Spain. The European Union is trying to make drastic measures in order to stop this situation as soon as possible. Apart from that, there is a restrictions to use the bank system, international bank system. So this country has been eliminated from the SWIFT bank code system. So people are not able to operate from their banks. If they need to use a SWIFT code to make international transfers, they will not be able to do so as well. There are a lot of economic type, tourism type of restrictions in order to be able to somehow change the movement of the situation and change its vibe and make it stop. However, I don't think, to be honest with you, that it will help in some point. Spain is also open to receive people from Ukraine. There are a lot of families that were receiving children from Ukraine for summertime that have contacted their parents and said that please send your children to us. Before the flights were cancelled, before it was a difficult situation with flights and they were overbooked, overloaded. So a lot of people are sending their children still by measures that they can here to the co-parents, they call it themselves, because children are staying here almost the whole summer and they're used to these families. They've been here for a lot of years. Each year on summer they were coming, which is why their Spanish parents have asked for children to come here if there is a possibility to be safe. A lot of families are doing this. There's in Valencia, in Alicante, in Barcelona, in a lot of parts in Spain. These families, anyone that can do it, they are doing it in order to help these children. The next news is coming, of course, from our Benidorm town. Hosteleria, which means all bars, restaurants and cafeterias, places where you can have a snack, eat or drink something, has spent already the first official weekend without major restrictions in a long time here in Spain and in our Valencian community as well. This was the first weekend when we don't need any more certificates to be able to get inside, have a nice drink or snack. This was also the first weekend when there is no limitation for a social distancing of 1.5 meters, and the first weekend when the maximum amount of people allowed in groups is not necessary anymore. So more than 10 people can gather on one table at once, and there is no obligation to make smaller separate groups, which has led us to a big increase here in Benidorm of tourists in general. There is usually we spot quite a big increase on weekends starting from Thursday up until Sunday. And this will be increasing day by day up until summer season, when it's going to be its peak, and it's going to be very crowded and very busy here in town. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it will be the case. And even right now you can see there's quite a lot of people walking down the Levante alley, down the beach area. There are quite a lot of people on the bars, on the terraces, having a nice drink, a cocktail, tea, coffee, freshly pressed juice, or a traditional Spanish breakfast. Businesses basically are giving their applause to the elimination of the majority of the measures right now in here, and they are starting to plan the summer season 2022, which will start officially from Easter week in April, from 10th till 17th, and they are amplifying the timetable, the working hours, because a lot of these places, when we checked even the new businesses that were opening up here on the Levante beach, if you did not see that video, by the way, it's going to be popping up right here, and I'll leave it in the description box as well. They were telling me that they are opening only on weekends or only up until 6 p.m. because it did not make any sense to open any longer than that. However, all this is changing. The opening hours are being amplified, and they are even planning to hire more staff as this season will go forward. So it's amazing news for Benidorm, amazing news for our region. We are looking forward for a lot of tourists that are potentially coming this year here, which tells us that there's going to be quite a lot of the last news is coming from the port of Benidorm. This is the place where a lot of the excursions are going around, especially in summer season, from where you can visit Alicante, Calpe, Benidorm Island, Island of Tabarca, which is a beautiful place, I must say. However, on winter, it's usually closing. No excursions are held during winter time, starting from November, more or less 1st of November, which is when winter season is starting, up until March. Starting from tomorrow, 1st of March, which is going to be calendar spring, so happy spring everyone, by the way. Starting from tomorrow, excursions from Benidorm port are opening up back again. However, not all of them will be available. The one that will be available starting from tomorrow is the excursion towards the island of Benidorm, which is this beauty right here that you can see in front of us. And this excursion is usually held from Monday till Saturday right now at the moment. During summer, it's almost every single day. However, right now it's just Monday till Saturday because there's not a lot of people still. And starting from 10 in the morning, it goes every single hour. So 10, 11, 12, and so on. This excursion is going from the port of Benidorm towards the island, and there you do have the option, which is included in the ticket, to go with another type of the boat, which is submarine exploring boat, which gets down and you can see some panoramic views of the bottom basically of the sea here to be able to see some fish. There's not a lot to see, to be honest with you. However, it's still an interesting thing, something different that you can do here in Benidorm. This is going to be the only excursion that will be available for you guys starting from the 1st of March. All the rest of them so far will be planned starting from May up until October. So from the 1st of May, you will be able to enjoy excursions from Benidorm towards Calpe, excursions from Benidorm towards Alicante and then Tabarca Island, or just jet ski speed excursion that will bring you with a high-speed boat here down the Benidorm's Bay. So the full complete list of these excursions will be available starting from May. However, if you're coming in March and you would like to explore Benidorm's Island, you will be able to do so, and the tickets can be purchased by different ways. You can do it from the hotel, but usually they recommend you to go directly to the port of Benidorm, and at the end you have a small house where you can purchase the tickets directly to go to the boat. Now, what about the weather forecast for the next upcoming days? As you could have seen today, it's quite cloudy. However, the sun is coming out every now and then, so it's not too cold here today in Benidorm. And this is going to be happening in the next few days. By the end of this week, there should be slightly more of the sunshine here in town and in the Mediterranean area. As for the temperatures are more or less the same as they were. By mid of this week, we'll be able to see some slight increase by a few degrees. Here in Benidorm, we're supposed to have more or less 18, 19 degrees, sometimes might get up until 20, which is amazing, which is why a lot of people right now are here on the beach playing with their children and even wearing their swimwear, but these ones are mostly tourists. The upcoming days will have the temperatures more or less of 18 degrees in Alicante. Madrid will have 14, 15. On the south, Spain, it's slightly warmer. There will have approximately up until 20 degrees, which is great. And the north part obviously has slightly less of a temperature than in here, as you can see on this map. By Wednesday, as I've said, the temperatures will be rising up just a little bit to offer us even warmer, amazing weather here in Benidorm. These were all the news for today. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and you got to know some useful information for you. Don't forget that tomorrow here on the channel on midday, I will publish a long-awaited video from a new hotel. We'll be doing a complete tour down the hotel that not a lot of people know about. It's a hidden treasure in the center of Benidorm. So don't miss tomorrow's video. Bye!